Hi everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Gizmo missed you all and he was just here asking if he could say hi. So we're going to say hi to everyone, Gizmo. Can you say nice to meet you? Thank you. Yes, nice to meet you. Can you give me everyone a high five? Good boy. That was a good high five. Another high five. Good job. Yeah. So Gizmo just kind of wanted to say hi to everyone and see how everyone's doing and hope that everyone's taking care. Gizmo's going to go on his walk now, and we're going to go ahead and get started with all our notes. Alrighty, everyone, so we're going to piece out in this little box here and go ahead and take out a paper and pencil because we are going to be reviewing some exponent properties and then converting between exponents and logs. So here's your first refresher. Let's just go ahead and evaluate the following exponents, okay? So I know 2 to the first is 2, 2 squared is 4, 2 to the third is 8, 2 to the fourth is 16, 2 to the fifth is 32, and 2 to the sixth is 64, right? Now, as we're going down, we're multiplying all of these values by 2 every time, right? So if I'm going to go backwards, I'm going to divide by 2. So we know 2 to the 0 is 1 because anything to the 0 power is 1. And then 2 to the negative 1, well, then we would take this value and divide it by 2. So 2 to the negative 1 would be 1 over 2. And then 2 to the negative 2 would give us 1/4. 2 to the negative 3 would give us 1/8, and so on and so forth. So when we're dealing with negative exponents here, we're going to get a fraction answer. And here's our other refresher. Let's practice rewriting these square roots as exponents. So I can rewrite the square root of 4 as 4 to the power of 1/2. And that's going to get me 2. I can rewrite the square root of 64 as, 64 to the power of 1/2, and that's going to get me 8. I can rewrite 81 as the square root of 81 as 81 to the 1/2 power, and that's going to get me 9. Now for something like the one on the top, my bad, I'm losing, words are hard. For something like cube root of 8, we can rewrite that as 8 to the power of 1/3. And remember, if we're taking a cube root, then we're asking ourselves what number times itself 3 times will get you 8. And the answer to that is 2. And then cube root of 27 can be rewritten as 27 to the power of 1/3, and that's going to give us 3. Cube root of 125 can be rewritten as 125 to the power of 1/3, and we know that that answer is going to be 5. Alrighty, guys, so let's do some mixed practice. Go ahead and hit pause on your screen, copy down the problems, and evaluate them. All right, welcome back. So let's practice evaluating these things. So we know that 4 cubed, or 4 times 4 times 4, is going to give us 64. 4 to the power of 1/2 is going to give us 2, and 4 to the negative 2 is going to give us 1 over 16. Because we know 4 squared is 16, and so if I have a negative exponent, I'm going to take the reciprocal of what 4 squared is. Okay, so now let's take those same exponentials and convert them into logs. So remember, if we're converting them into logs, your base is going to stay the base. So that means that 4 is going to be the base of your log. Your new input is going to be the output of what it was in the exponent. So log base 4 of 64. And then that exponent of 3 is going to be your output. Okay. So your input and your output switch. Okay. Let's do that again. So we have log, your base is 4, so that's going to stay 4. Your new input is going to be 2. And we're going to set it equal to 1/2. Okay. Now, something I like to do just to kind of keep this all in order in my head, is something called around the world. So we start at home base, and our base is at 4. We're going to make a quick pit stop on the other end of the world, and we're going to land very closely to where we started, okay? And now when I'm converting it, when I'm using around the world to write an exponent into a log, I'm going to write it in the order of the pit stops that I made. So our base was our first stop, right? That was our starting point. Our pit stop was at 1/16, so I'm going to write that next. And I finished at -2, okay? So that's just something that I use just to kind of help keep my things in order. Okay, and now we're going to go the other way around. We're going to convert the following logs into exponential form. So very similar process here. So your base here was 9, so that's going to be your base of your exponent. So that's 9. The exponent right here is going to be this number 2. Okay. And 9 squared gets us 81, and we get 81 from the input of your log. Okay. So same process. 9 to the power of 1/2 gets us 3, because your base stayed your base. The exponent was whatever your log equaled. And then your output of your exponent is going to be the input of what your log was. You can also use around the world for converting logs into exponents. So we started our base, which is 9. We make a pit stop at -1, and we end very similarly to where we started. So your base is 9. We made a pit stop at -1, and we ended at 1/9. Okay. All right, guys, so let's practice finding the value of each variable. Go ahead and hit pause on this video, copy down these problems, and find all of the missing variables in these expressions. All right, welcome back. So we're going to go over the solutions to these, and I'm just going to show them to you on the screen right here. So for number 1, 10 to the -2 is 1/100. For number 2, I found it easier for me just to convert that into an exponent. So 81 to the power of 1/2 is equal to h, which means that h would have to be 9. 6 cubed is 216. For number 4, 5 to the -3rd will get us 125, or you could have just evaluated that log base 5 of 125 is -3. 169 to what power will get us 13? Well, 169 to the power of 1/2 will get us 13. And then for number 6, there is no base written, so that means it's got a base of 10. So 10 to the 0 power equals x, and we already know that anything to the 0 power is always going to be 1. Okay, so that's a good check for yourself. Let's do another set. So for all of these, I just want you to evaluate all of the expressions written. Go ahead, hit pause, and then when you come back, we'll go over the solutions. All right, welcome back. So here are the solutions to the problems that we just did. So you should have gotten 3, 4, -2, 15, 2, and 1/49. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully this was a nice refresher / review for you guys. These are good things to know moving forward as you go through your math career at ETHS, just because it'll help make your math experience a little smoother if you've got these rules mastered. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and leave some love for Gizmo.